What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day. I am Josh, and you're back on Cryptos R Us, and so am I for this Valentine's Day. I hope you guys all had a fantastic day, a fabulous week, and we're going to make it even better because I've got some great stuff to go over. The market's starting to pick up again. Things are looking really good. There's a lot of very bullish things happening right now. So let's strap on and dig in. Mic audio's low. All right, we're good. Don't trip. But here we go. So, not that one. By the way, just so everybody does remember, I am Josh. I've been with Cryptos R Us for over 5 years. I've been streaming on Alpha First and Cryptos R Us Plus for over a year now. And about 3 weeks ago, I made my debut on Cryptos R Us on Friday evening. So every Friday night, you got me. If you don't have George, you get me. And hey, if you don't have a date, I'll take you too. So here we are. But Bitcoin did start out the day a little bit weak, and we had a nice rally up. We almost cracked 99K. It's been a little while since we have, but unfortunately it did get rejected, and we've came down a little bit, still over 97K, not too bad, but there's a reason for that. Not all bad, because it does get more bullish as we go. But what exactly is going on in the world right now? Currently, we have the market finally getting a little bit happier and understanding of the tariffs, because these tariffs aren't turning out to be long-term things. Trump is actually using them as like a threat to kind of throw his weight around and get his way. And markets and traditional finance is starting to calm down quite a bit on that. So we're not getting as much reactions when these new tariffs are being announced. That's good, because every single time it was getting announced, we saw big dumps, and it was mostly TradFi impacting the market. We know that long-term holders, they're not phased. They don't care. They're here for the long ride. So ultimately, it's no big deal. And we just kind of have to wait out this time period of all the tariffs. And I think it's all going to smooth itself out, because ultimately all Trump is trying to do is position the economy in a better place. Whether or not that's going to happen, I guess we'll find out. But there is some other things too, because right now we're seeing crypto starting to pick up a lot all over the world, but largely in the United States. And that we can see that with the revenue earnings from Coinbase and Robinhood. They're absolutely crushing it. I mean, Robinhood itself was up over 700%. I know George already covered that, so you heard about it, but that shows how much adoption is increasing and how much more retail is coming into the space. We've got retail accumulating a little bit of Bitcoin at a time, like they should. They're DCAing and they're accumulating. This is what we want to see. Short-term holders go up and ultimately become long-term holders. And not only that, though, something everybody is rejoicing for. I mean, I'm not complaining. Maybe the next thing we'll see out of this is an abolishment of capital gains tax on crypto, but currently they're announcing, or the government's announcing, that we're going to see thousands of IRS agents being fired next week. That'd be pretty wild. I mean, I think it was 96,000 IRS agents were added in 2024. It's a little absurd. So we're going to see a large cut there. I'm curious how much they're actually going to end up cutting. But ultimately, could be good, I guess, right? I mean, just take away the capital gains, but we'll find out how this works. But not only that, we've got institutions, countries, states, and holders all loading up on Bitcoin. Millennium Management just announced 2.6 billion, with a B, not million, billion, in Bitcoin spot ETF holdings. And they've got a little bit of Ethereum too. You know, there's some people that are still pretty bullish on Ethereum, but everybody is mega bullish on Bitcoin. So we're seeing a lot of adoption, and they're not the only ones, because now we've got the Wisconsin Pension Fund. They announced that they were going to only invest about like 5%, I believe it was, into Bitcoin. But now they're raising that exposure to $321 million, which is more like, I think it was like 7% or so. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but that's, or wait, here we go. So yeah, it was, they held 164 million. Now they hold 321 million, which is great. We're seeing states all around the country start to try to put in Bitcoin legislation so that they can invest their funds into Bitcoin. And we're going to see amazing race for Bitcoin. Everybody is trying to get a bag. We have almost half of the country that is looking to load up on Bitcoin. And a lot of these, actually, Texas just announced today that it's going to the public hearing. So they're currently the furthest along in the process, and they very well could be the first state that we see actually load up on Bitcoin. And I think once we see the first state actually get approved and start loading up on Bitcoin, it's going to be a domino effect. It's just all a waterfall effect from there. Everybody's going to be like, all right, I want in now. And also, that's going to put an extreme pressure on the supply, whether it's OTC or exchanges. Both are extreme lows. You've got OTC supply around like 120,000 Bitcoin right now. And just last month alone, it removed 75,000 Bitcoin. So if more and more of these states start grabbing in and governments are grabbing, that supply is gone. And now they have to buy spot. And last time I checked on the spot exchanges, they only have about 2.1 million Bitcoins. And that's at the lowest level it's ever been. So very, very bullish. I know nobody believes the supply shock, but when it happens, you're going to believe it because it's very, very real. But that's not all we have, because potentially the largest news that we've had all week, or maybe even the last month, just came out today. We have the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund loading up in $436 million in Bitcoin ETFs. Now, that's not even a fraction of what they're capable of doing. Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia and that whole area of the world is some of the richest in the world, because they are very rich in oil. They've got tons of money, and this is a huge sign. You do not understand how massive this is going to be. They have been exploring crypto for quite some time now, and now they are finally starting to dip their toes in. And BlackRock buys off of OTC, and so this is only going to force BlackRock or the OTC markets to drive even quicker. Now, I think this is just the beginning for Abu Dhabi. We're going to see much, much more come out of them. And they are an absolutely huge, huge market. And aside from that, just in this last short time that they are now reporting this, they are the 7th largest holder of the BlackRock ETF. So they're behind, Goldman Sachs Millennium that I just talked about. We got Symmetry, Avenir Tech, and then you've got Mubadala. I apologize if I butchered that, but I'm not the greatest. So they're loading up, and it's very, very bullish, because I've been to Dubai, I've been to Abu Dhabi, and they are very, very, very interested in crypto. They are looking at every way they can embrace it. Just yesterday alone, we saw news come out of the Saudi Arabia area where they're going to actually utilize Avalanche for blockchain infrastructure. And aside from that, we had Dubai. They're going to put some government things on, actually, this is mind blowing, but on the Shiba Inu blockchain, which I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Of all chains to pick, going with Shibs, and hey, that's fine. No problem here. But still, it shows you how interested they are and how much they are looking to get involved. And not only that, CZ confirmed today that there is many other funds that are looking to accumulate Bitcoin out of the Abu Dhabi region. So this is just the beginning. It's going to become much, much more. And right now, it's actually not looking great for the United States, because the more this happens, the more behind we are. And I hope that what we're going to see is that's going to light a fire under everyone's butt, and they don't want to be left behind. Everybody's starting to realize that this is the turn of a century, right? This is like the next step. This is something brand new to the entire space, and they do not want to miss out. So as they see more and more of these regions actually start picking up, they're only going to be more likely to get involved. And I had to show this meme because they don't care. They just buy, right? They're not looking for a good entry. They want it, they buy it, they pick it up. And I thought this meme was hilarious. So I just had to share it, because Q1, we're only a month and 14 days into Q1, and they have already bought 436 million in ETFs. Now that could be much more. And not only that, the reporting for Q1 is nowhere near done. We've still got a month and a half of Q1 to go. So we could see much larger numbers come out of this soon. It's just the beginning, like I was saying. Now, I know you guys are all wondering, why am I talking about altcoin season potentially? The market's been trashed. We're finally seeing a bounce market-wide today, but alt season seems a little bit far off, you may say. But there's a sure sign that we may be getting closer. Bitcoin dominance has been an all-time high as of last week. It was over 64%, at 64.3%. And as of 5 days ago, it peaked out and it's been falling off a cliff ever since. Actually, today it fell under 60%. Actually, right now it says it's 60.66%. But if we actually go to CoinMarketCap, I personally believe that the true Bitcoin dominance you would find on TradingView. But you can see that when we look at it on CoinMarketCap, it does show that it is still below 60%. So I'm not entirely positive where the discretion is there. But the point is that it's dropping like a rock. And that's what we typically see when altcoin season starts to happen, when these alts really start to pick up. And not only that, altcoin season almost always happens in February. If you look at the last 3 halvings, or the last 2 halvings, actually, you have about 217 days after halving, which is in February, and Bitcoin dominance falls off a cliff. And then you go into altcoin season, and then alts start to bleed, Bitcoin dominance picks up again, then you get a halving, and the same thing happens again. Look, 217 days, 217 days. And now we're at that point of 217 days. And what are we starting to see? We're seeing Bitcoin dominance fall off a cliff. So could this be? History doesn't always repeat, but it does tend to rhyme. So we very well could see a repeat of what we've seen in prior halvings, and that would be incredible. Everybody is getting bored. They want to see altcoin season. Some people believe it may not come at all, and I am not on that bandwagon. I'm way out of that boat. I totally believe altcoin season's coming. It may not start tomorrow. This takes time to play out. Market doesn't move that fast, but in crypto, it does tend to move incredibly fast. So it could be in February still. We've still got 2.5 weeks left. There's no reason why we can't see a huge change in the market in then. And not only that, February is one of the most bullish months of the year for crypto overall. Now, that's enough of Bitcoin, though. I've bored you guys enough. You get Bitcoin from George every single day. So let's get into some other stuff, because what's really been taking off today is meme coins. As you can see, in the last 24 hours alone, meme coins have been getting hammered over the last week. Heck, last week, I was telling everybody that meme coins are bottoming, and they have. And I'll show you to that too, because we've seen huge gains out of meme coins. And just in the last 24 hours alone, we've seen volume pick up 77%. Sure, I know a lot of that is due to broccoli or another token that just recently came out that I'm going to talk about next. But the point is that we're seeing action all over the space. If you scroll down here, look at this 7-day performance. Last Friday, when I was here with you guys, I was pulling up memes and saying that these are the meme coins that will bounce. And look, over the last 7 days, we are seeing massive bounces across the board. Trump up 26%. And then everything else is up 10% or more, except for WIF, because nobody buys WIF anymore. But AI16Z up 52%. Popcat 48%. We will get to that. You better believe we'll get to that. But something incredibly ridiculous happened today. It was about a week ago. We saw a country launch a meme coin, and it rugged pretty fast. And we may be seeing the same thing again. It's really wild in the meme coin space. Trump started something really wild with his meme coin, and a lot of countries are following suit. And now we have Argentina following suit. So we've got Javier Milei, or I'm not going to do that. I know his first name's Javier, so I'm just going to say that, but I'll butcher the last name. But I translated it here. Liberal Argentina grows. This is a private project. Will be dedicated to encouraging the growth of the Argentine economy by funding small Argentine businesses and startups. The world wants to invest in Argentina. Now, when I read that, the very first thing I think is they're going to be dumping on me. And that's why they are actually holding over 80% of the supply. So if you look at the blockchain and you do a little bit of sleuthing, you can see that it's over 80% of the supply that they were holding. And what have we seen happen? And now Trump did the exact same thing. And this is wild because I saw this 10 minutes after it launched, and it went from 120 million to 3 billion in the time that I saw it. And that was just in 10 minutes. So this thing absolutely flew. But unfortunately, all my markers went away because if you pull up the Argentine wallet that sold, it's just littered with sells all throughout. And look at it, it's gone. They basically drained it already. It's at 709 million. I when I was looking at it and it's at 3 billion, I'm like, absolutely not. The risk versus reward is way too skewed. You know, it's at 3 billion. How much higher can it really get? It's not going to compete with Trump, that's for sure. And not only that, I don't know if I necessarily trust him to hold 80% of the supply. The last time we saw a country do this, it was basically the exact same situation. So instead of liberating Argentina, I guess they're liberating their pockets because now they are completely lined with stable coins or Solana or whatever. It's really wild. A lot of people are really upset about how this went. I saw some people saying that because of this, it's going to be their last cycle in crypto. I don't feel that way. I mean, come on, guys. Like, crypto's just getting started. We're finally getting mainstream adoption, and that's why we're seeing stuff like this. But that's why you really have to be careful in the trenches and not just go all out on every single fad that comes. It's that simple. Look at this, has been out for 1600. It's been, oh wait, let's turn, I think it came out let's see. It came out at 4:10 CST. So it's been 3 hours, literally 3 hours. So in 3 hours, it managed to go to 4.5 billion all the way back down because they just drained it. Now, maybe it's finding a bottom and we'll see a bounce or something like that, but I'm not very interested in this play. It's just something crazy that's going on in the space. But other crazy things, I know that not very many people love pump fund anymore. I'm not a big pump fund fan, but it does spread more adoption because we are seeing pump fund now on the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store. And I don't know, that's pretty wild. I guess you can get rugged on the go. Why not? And now, like I said, the Trump meme coin did have a large rally back. It was up as high as 40%. But what's really important about that is if you are in our Patreon community, which the link is down below, you've got me in there, got George in there, and then, of course, you also have Blake now. And Blake is more of an analyst, so he does a lot of charting, a lot of TA. He also has a show on Alpha First now. He did his first show, actually, yesterday. I was on there with him. But he wants to do a lot more, so you'll be seeing a lot more from him. But yesterday in Discord, he actually called this Trump pump. So you can see this is his own personal indicator that he's making available to the Patreon group. But this is, so he designed this indicator and everything like that. But he called this buy in Patreon last night, and I think he's up like 1100%. And there, I don't know what else everybody else is up, but either way, it was a phenomenal call. Some people are calling for it to go to $100. Blake's not, but that would be absolutely incredible if it did. Personally, I sold out of it around like $40 when it started its initial decline. And I guess I lucked out. Maybe it's time to pick up another bag. I guess we'll see what Trump pump ends up doing. But we did. Now, I mentioned Popcat because this is very important. You guys all called me crazy and thought I was just off my rocker because last Friday, when I was talking about blue chip meme coins that could have a strong bounce back, Popcat was literally at the bottom. This candle right here is when I streamed. So it was the exact bottom. And in 7 days, it's been up as high as like 97%. So it's almost 2x'd in the last week. Now, yes, it's come down a little bit. It's more like 50% now. We're getting a little bit of a retracement tonight, but either way, Popcat is having a resurgence. It was just way too oversold. It's not that I'm necessarily bullish on Popcat, but you have to understand the market and when things are oversold. And not only that, it had the Coinbase listing coming, and it's a name that people recognize. There's bag holders that are going to be out there talking about it. So it's just very likely that it saw a comeback, and it did. And actually, all the things that I talked about having a comeback did. But Popcat had the largest bounce back for sure. Now, the other big news of this week, I'm sure you guys are all aware. I don't know how many of you are actually in it or played with it or anything like that. I did. I actually streamed the launch of it, but that is broccoli. And CZ did CZ things. Nobody saw it coming. He didn't launch a token, but instead he incited like 6,000 tokens to launch. So it's kind of wild. He put out the tweet about his dog and his released the name and the picture and everything like that. And next thing you know, we have 5,000 broccoli tokens. But because he put down the name or the time, the exact time that he was going to release the name and the picture of the dog, I was fully prepared to go live as soon as that happened. So as soon as that happened, I went live and I tried to find the broccoli token. It sounds really silly when you say it like that, but I tried to find the broccoli token that would be the winner of them all. And I actually did pick the top token. It rallied up to 400 million market cap, and I watched it come down, and I watched volume start to pick up a little bit more. And I'm like, all right, this is the one. So I'm sitting there trying to buy it at 10 million market cap. It would have been a phenomenal pickup. Unfortunately, BSC was just so overloaded that we were unable to get that pickup. But there are many people that I've talked to and that it's in our Discord that we're watching, and they actually did manage to get in. Unfortunately, due to slippage, some of them a little bit higher, like 20, 30 mil. But either way, it did play out. And broccoli is not as high as it was, but it is still at 100 million. So that $10 million pickup, because I watched it shoot up and then I watched it kind of fall down a little bit. And I was like, all right, now here's the time. This is when we're going in. But what's crazy, everybody said that it wasn't going to happen so fast. Now, CZ hasn't actually backed any of these tokens yet, like I thought he may, because he ultimately ended up getting a ton of backlash. A lot of people were really angry at him and disappointed in him for doing what he did. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. It seemed to have ignited some more interest in the altcoins in general and meme coins. So I don't know if CZ was necessarily a catalyst, but since then, we've seen a lot of tokens come up. So we could argue that it was a catalyst. And it's already been listed on Bybit. It's also listed on Binance. It was listed on MEXC in like a half hour. So it was the winner. Where it's going to go from here, nobody knows. At some point, maybe CZ will talk about it. It'll shoot back up. But we've got founders dog tokens or cat tokens or whatever on numerous chains, and they always tend to like kind of get random life breathed back into them and take off again. So I'm not, again, it's another one that I'm not necessarily extremely bullish on, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on. It's kind of like how Trump came down and it kind of got a rounded bottom, and now it's heading back up again with a nice strong pump. We're kind of seeing that same thing potentially form here, and we're right there at the prior support. Granted, this support here, I mean, this is like an hour of support. This is like 2 hours of support, and then it took off again, got up to 285 mil, came back down. So if it manages to hold this level, maybe we see another bounce up. Hopefully a higher high if we want it to go higher, but right now it's still doing pretty good. You really can't complain about 100 mil market cap, especially with how it performed. So we've got that. Definitely something to keep your eyes on. But there are coins that haven't actually had a strong bounce back yet. And that's what I'm interested in, because it's not that we missed the opportunity in the other ones, but there are still strong tokens that are in the space that are very popular, and they just haven't gotten that spark lit again yet. And the first one I want to talk about is Toshi, because Toshi is still a good pick. And if we look at it in the 7 days, it's basically flat. So this is one of the few ones, it's up 1.4%. So this is one of the few ones that did actually not move, really. If anything, it managed to kind of dump more, and then it reclaimed it. But I am bullish on Toshi. I think that Toshi is going to have a really strong year. It's easily one of the most popular tokens on base. I think that it's definitely going to surpass Brett. Brett is just bleeding nonstop. Brett's at like 400 mil market cap right now. Nobody talks about Brett anymore. Nobody wants Brett. And there's some good reasons for that. We don't necessarily have to get into that, but Toshi is already on Coinbase. It's got more. I think it might actually be. Yeah, so it's not on Bybit yet. I don't think it's on Binance yet. It's not on Binance yet. So there are still more larger exchanges that we can see coming. It's crazy that actually the first tier one exchange. Oh, it is on Bybit. I missed that. My bad. But it's not on Binance yet. But it's crazy that it got on Coinbase before Binance. But now we're starting to see Binance list a lot more meme tokens and very quickly. So if we start to see volume pick up real heavy in Toshi, I do expect that we'll see that come, because right now you can see volume is kind of suffering for Toshi. It's down 60% in the last day. It's just not time for it yet. But I'm very bullish on the fact that it's going to have a resurgence. So definitely keeping my eye on that. It could very well be at a good spot to grab, because let's change this to candles. See, it's kind of like hanging right at this lower level support line, and be a good time for a bounce. That's what I'm thinking. But Toshi's not the only one. I like to look at leaders on different chains, because you don't have to only pick Solana memes. You don't have to only pick base memes. Why not look at the strongest tokens from each chain? Because when the chain starts to pick up, the token picks up too. The tokens on it pick up. And that's what I expect to see from Snek. Now, Snek has had a pretty strong last 7 days. But if we zoom out a little bit further, we can see that it's actually down 23% in the last month. And it's not doing terrible. Like, it had a huge run up, but now it's kind of coming back down. And arguably it bounced kind of at its support level. But Snek also being the premier, the biggest, and the strongest meme coin on Cardano, and Cardano starting to pick up and get more attention by regulators. Charles is talking to the administration, to Elon Musk. There's tons of things going on. Not only that, now it's got, it's decentralized, everything like that. It's got the DAO in place for governance. And I think that Cardano is going to start to have a good bit of resurgence. It's been pretty weak this year and over the last few months. So I'm still extremely bullish on Snek. But what's coming for Snek that's actually finally going to help it, if we go down here and we try to look at what dexes it's on, sexes it's on MEXC, it's on Gate, BingX, it's on all these tier 2 exchanges, right? Like, it's not really that bullish, because not a lot of people use these exchanges. They use Coinbase, they use Kraken, they use Gemini, Binance, Bybit. But what's finally going to be coming soon for Snek, well, not that, that's next, is Kraken. And that's pretty big. Kraken's been finally listing a lot of meme coins, and it's about time Snek gets their time to shine. I'm very bullish on Snek. I love Snek. I love the Snek team. And yeah, it's just a great project. And not only that, Snek is actually in the top 14 of meme coins in the entire space. So when you think about Cardano, the last thing you think about is meme coins, but I think that's going to change soon. We've got Snek, and I also like baby Snek too, but very bullish on Snek. I think especially when we see that Kraken listing, a lot of people don't like to go on Cardano to transact. It's kind of slow. It's a little bit confusing at times, especially for somebody that's not used to transacting on Cardano. And so going onto a tier 1 exchange is going to completely change the game for them. My normie friends that get into crypto finally, they don't go and make Coinbase accounts or MEXC and things like that. They actually all, for whatever reason, prefer Kraken. So a ton of normies that are coming into the space are actually choosing Kraken as their preferred exchange. So this could be a huge catalyst for Snek. So definitely something to keep your eyes on. It could totally be something that pushes it back up towards all-time high. Absolutely. And, what's talking about a chain without talking about Sui? I'm a huge Sui bull. I absolutely love Sui. And right now, you can't talk about Sui without talking about Lofi. And Lofi has been getting just hammered recently. It's been pretty rough. It's not been looking good for Lofi. As you can see, they peaked out over here in December, and it's just been coming down since. And they're finally getting to this level here that is prior support. So maybe we can see a good bounce there. But it could potentially bleed a little bit more, because it did come up very fast and very strong. But Lofi and Sui is something that I follow very closely. There's other projects I like on Sui too. Like I know all of you guys, you love Blub. You want to talk about Blub? Maybe we'll pull that up during Q&A. But what matters is that everybody talks about Lofi. So you've got to kind of pay attention. When it comes to meme coins, it's really an attention economy. The ones that have the most attention tend to be the winners. You know, it's kind of like how Popcat suffered for a while. Nobody was really talking about Popcat because you had all these AI meme coins that came out, and then you know, Trump and all these other ones. So they kind of stole the attention away. And then when everything bottomed out, it came back. So Lofi and Sui's not going anywhere. Sui's only getting stronger. And I believe that Lofi will have a very strong resurgence as well. And yeah, let's do some Q&A because I want to talk some more about other tokens you guys want to talk about. I want to pull up some coins, answer questions that you guys might have. I want to do it all. So go ahead. I don't know. I might have missed some stuff. Maybe I should let's make sure I didn't miss anything. Someone recognize one? Oh. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything. Doesn't look like I did. So I will just scroll through and see if there was any good questions. Otherwise, drop them down there and we will see. Jason says, I'm a little late. The entries were 48 hours ago. Actually, the entries were last week when I called them and they worked out pretty good. Let's see. I'll fix my camera too. Who is Josh? Did I miss something? I explained it, so hopefully you heard. Everyone acts surprised every Friday. I know. It's one of my favorite parts of Friday. Avalanche, let's go. Man, we can talk about some Avalanche stuff because Avalanche has been going wild too. You've got, you know, countries, like I mentioned, wanting to use Avalanche as a blockchain. And not only that, 2 days ago, we had Wink launch, and I didn't even know it was launching. And I wake up and it's like 98 million market cap. Absolutely flew. And that, so, and then Juicy, you got the Avalanche Foundation investing in Juicy. I'm obviously bullish on Avalanche, the Avalanche ecosystem. I'm a huge supporter of Big Red. Love what they're doing over there. Right now, they're in the middle of trying to gather some more horses so that they can do more races, but extremely bullish on Avalanche and the Avalanche ecosystem. It just tends to be a sleeper. But this week, it's really woken up. And yeah, I'm here for it. Let's go. What else is going on here? You ain't Asian. You're right. I'm pretty dang white. All right. I'm just gonna. Okay. George got hacked. George, you've changed. This never changes. All right. I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom. All right. There's some questions that were dropped over here to me, so I will read these off and see. Stephen R said, "Oh snap, got slinger prints on the wall." Yeah, man, I got quite a few of them. I love Slinger, and I collected his stuff for quite a while. Ket Wink and Waifu on AVAX. Yeah, Ket, also another one that absolutely blew up on Avalanche out of nowhere. Wink. What I really love about Wink, let's check this out because it's hilarious. If you go to Wink's website, so first we'll go to their Twitter. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, there it is. If you go to their website, they list all of the people that they gave allocations to. And look at this. They show that they dumped and they show what their address is. And like all of these people have basically dumped all of their supply. So you could argue that's a good thing. You know, because all these people that got free tokens, like it looks like 90% of them are completely sold out. So it's pretty wild. And I like that this project actually did this because it's something I've never seen from another project, and I love that. That's a really unique thing. More projects should do that for sure. Let's see here. Hey Josh, do you know anything about Pepe Unchained? Can you check it, please? No, I've seen a lot of ads for it. I've never. Typically, when I see a ton of like ads and I'm getting like spam emails about it and things like that, that kind of like turns me away. But I know that they ended up actually not being a complete scam. So let's see what we can find here. Because that's what I'm typically worried about when I'm seeing all these ads everywhere and talking about a pre-sale. It just makes me a little weary, especially when like people I know aren't talking about it. So yeah, but apparently they actually have their own layer 2 blockchain. Come join the Pepe ecosystem. My problem is it's like it's very too much of a derivative. We've already got, you know, some people talk about the OG Pepe, and then we've got the biggest Pepe, and now we've got Pepe Unchained. So how many of these derivatives can actually work? The boys club narrative is just very large, and hey, they're not doing too terrible. Let's zoom out though. Want to see the daily? Oh, they actually are doing pretty terrible. But they're at 74 mil market cap, but literally every single holder is underwater right now. And this is the concern I have with pre-sales, because people got allocations, people got pre-sales, and they just dump it on everybody, all the hype. And this is literally the exact reason why I stay away from pre-sales. And right now, I'm not seeing any reason why this should have a sign of life, because there's no reason why we need another layer 2 from a meme coin. And 143% APY. Yeah, I'm just not big on it. Tokenomics 47. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Why is he chained? I thought he's unchained, but if you look, he's still completely chained. But let's look at the tokenomics on it. Got 47.5% for the project, 10% for marketing, 30% for staking and rewards, 7.5% for liquidity, chain inventory. Okay. That's a pretty small LP there. That's why it's been getting dumped like crazy. I'm going to stay away from this like fire. I do not want this. So I'm sorry if that's something you're bullish on, but I just don't see any reason why Pepe Unchained is the next big thing. Let's see here. Eric David Tippett says Lofi is a cabal coin. Probably won't get listed because of that. It's potential. I am much more bullish on AXOL. AXOL is actually my favorite meme coin on the Sui blockchain. Blub is a little bit interesting. I'm still kind of digging into it and checking out the community, but AXOL is very organic. And I also just love axolots. Like, they're extremely adorable. So I really like them. So yeah, I like Lofi a lot, or AXOL a lot. Smancy Pants said Shiba as long term. And what do you think about playing Elon for ADF? I don't know what that is. But Shib long term, I mean, Shib's a household name, right? Like, everybody knows Shib. Shib's doing a lot of crazy things. They just increased their burn rate like 2,000%. They're onboarding Dubai to use their blockchain. You know, so they're doing interesting things. They've got a lot of attention. They're not going anywhere. I definitely see Shib doing well again. I wouldn't sleep on Shib. It's just not my favorite pick, but it's a good pick nonetheless. As for Elon for AFD, I'm assuming that's like part of the contract address. I don't know. Let's just check. That's something completely new to me. How have I never seen this? Oh, okay. So on the 4th, it just randomly dumped. Okay. Um, you know, a lot of these Elon memes only work when Elon like changes his name to something and everybody does it, and then they pump up and die. And this is probably going to be kind of the same situation. Like, there's the Elon Mars one and all these other ones, and like they just don't really do all that great. But what the heck? Let's check it out. It does have 15,000 holders. It's got an okay distribution. Let's check out the bubble maps though, because I like to see that a lot. If it loads. Loading. All right, we're not going to wait for it forever. But I'm going to tell you right off the chart, I don't like this. Let's check out the website too. Yeah. First meme token that bridges the gap between Elon Musk's influence and German politics, save Germany, Europe, and join our trip to Mars. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna have to pass on that. They got 22,000 followers, but yeah, it's just also, I'm not gonna lie, the art kind of creeps me out. It's a little creepy. Let's see what else we got though. VVV and DeepSeek asks Ramon. I'm not bullish on VVV. They dumped that really hard. I thought it was going to be interesting when it launched, but nope, not bullish on it at all. Raymond Gamble, Turbo, what do you think? Still bullish? Yeah, I'm bullish on Turbo. I think that Turbo is one of the first AI agent plays to come out. Everybody talks about Turbo. Turbo has not been doing well though. But I do think it's going to have a good resurgence. Actually it's up 10% today, but when I was looking at it earlier, yeah, it's basically flat over the week. It's down really heavy over the month, but it had a massive run up too. Like it peaked out here in December again with everything else at nearly $1 billion. It almost hit 900 million, or actually it hit 900 million if I can get. Oh nope, it just under 896 million. So it's came down really hard. It's about at a support level. We could see a good strong bounce here soon. I am bullish on Turbo. I think it's going to do well. Still a good pick. Elorm, I'm not going to pronounce your last name, but thoughts on Pi Network? No thanks. Gonna have to pass on Pi Network. Frenchie, is this the creator of the educational video? I create educational videos for you every single Friday and Wednesday. So there you go. Lofi was dropping hard due to a whale selling. Bullish from here. Yeah, I'm bullish on Lofi. Let's do it. Doge ETF set off. Will Doge ETF set off another meme season? It very well could. It's looking pretty likely that the Doge ETF might actually happen. I talked about this last week too, but we're seeing the SEC start to acknowledge a lot of these ETFs, and if that happens, I think we're going to see a big change in the landscape of memes for sure. Thoughts on Algo? It's a US coin. I think it's going to do well. It hasn't been doing fantastic here recently. I mean, let's take a look at the US coins in general. So if they moved it. I got to go into categories and how to find it. Made in America. Yeah, Algorand's been dropping. It's actually came up a little bit in the last 10 days, but I am bullish on Algorand. I actually like what they're doing. They've got actually a ton of development activity too. So they could have a pretty bright future. And not only that, right now, the administration really wants to focus on US made coins, and Algorand is that, so why not? I like Algo. Let's see. Hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, if you hit the like button, George will let me come back. So put nice comments and hit the like button. You're up 3x on Algo. That's awesome, Marlon. It looks like I missed a couple super chats. I apologize. Isaac Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, you think Algorand can attract more developers? I do. Here, let's actually see. I think I've got my login saved here. I've got to get it. All right, let me open this up. We can check and see how the development activity has been recently. if the email comes. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and wait. But also in terms of sentiment, I'm starting a new show on Tuesdays. So on Alpha First on Tuesdays. So if you go into the link in the description, directly under, the description, there's a link to subscribe to Alpha First. So if you subscribe to Alpha First, you'll catch me there on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and randomly on other days. But Fridays I'm here. But on Tuesdays, I'm starting a new show with actually people from the Sentiment team where we'll be going over a lot of really cool metrics that they have. And we'll be diving into things about like how development activity is going, social aspects, like how it's perceived by like people on X and people on YouTube or Facebook, so you can kind of see like where the crowd's mind space is, right? And it's really interesting because a lot of times when you see people get extremely bullish and calling for higher prices, that's typically a local top. So Sentiment's a very, very unique tool. So I strongly suggest that you go and subscribe to Alpha First so that you can actually join in on these shows where we're going to go over all this data. Not only that, I have access to Sentiment, and I'm going to be putting tons of Sentiment analysis in the Patreon account or in the Patreon community, in the Discord, and sharing all of that. So if you're in there already, just let me know what you want to see and I will show you. But if I get that email to come in, I will show you more of the development activity on Algorand. But it still hasn't came in. Sometimes they take a while, or it's just my email server. But there you go. Matan Rotter, why did people stop buying WIF? Also, thank you for the super chat, Sir Isaac Newton and Matan. But people stopped buying WIF because a lot of people got upset that they thought their money that they donated to get on the sphere was stolen. It wasn't stolen, but people are still upset about it. So that turned a lot of people off. They're claiming that they're in talks to get on the sphere still. I think at this point, it might be a kind of a moot point and people are just too much of a bad taste in their mouth. So yeah, not super stoked about that. Then let's see. Elorm, do you think gaming will run again? I do think that we'll see a gaming run again. It's just still a little bit too early. We'll see one this cycle for sure, but we're not going to see like a crazy explosive one, I don't think, because a lot of these games, you have to understand, they take like 7-8 years to build a really good game. Like think about GTA 6. I mean, they've been developing it for like 10 years. It takes a long time to build something solid. And a lot of these Web3 games are trying to rush products out and it just doesn't work. That's why I like DeFi Kingdoms, for example. They've been building, and they're actually starting to have a complete package, a complete game. Now you can even play the game without connecting a wallet. You can go in there and just check it out. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do that sometime. Maybe on a Saturday or something on Alpha First. I'll go stream DeFi Kingdoms. It's a pretty cool game. Algo A Run says, shouldn't Josh be taking you out to dinner instead of streaming? What who's going to be your guys' date then? I don't want to leave you guys hanging. And besides, I took her out for lunch. She's all right. Let's see here. Danny's in the house. What's going on, Danny the Bull? It's my guy. Hope you're doing good. Is that White George? You could say that. You could definitely say that. Can I pull up charts on XRP? I'm not a chartist, but I can pull it up. I'm not a chartist though. But let's check it out. Let me see here. I'm pulling up TradingView and gotta change my screen. If you want actual true analysis on XRP, I'm going to tell you that what you should really do is, for right now, every Thursday, Blake, that I was just talking about, he's streaming every Thursday on Alpha First. And he wants to do some other shows and stuff too, but his concrete schedule is every Thursday. And he is a phenomenal analyst. So definitely tune in, check him out, ask him if you want to see something specific, and he will definitely pull it up. XRP is actually pretty strong right now. Despite all the market pullbacks that we've had recently, XRP held decently well. Better than I thought it would anyways. If we fix this, it's been having, this is on the daily. So for the last 4 days now, we've been having a nice rounded bottom going back up. Yeah, I mean, will we see it get back up to all-time high? I do believe so. It's already pretty strong. So, and it's a really high market cap. Right now, it's kind of at a point. Maybe we see a rejection, but RSI is getting back up to that 55 level, so it's kind of undecisive. But it's coming off of a very low RSI for XRP, so maybe we do see a little bit more of a run up, get up towards like that 290 cents or $2.90, maybe $3 even. But yeah, that catalyst could be the XRP ETF approval. Now, if that happens, I bet we just see it take off. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday. XRP memes. I'm actually not huge on XRP memes, but not that I'm against them. I just haven't gotten into them. Yeah, I don't know anything about XRP memes. It's something I haven't gotten into. So, yeah. What's my thoughts on Gala Games? This is a sore subject with me. I was very bullish on Gala Games in 2021. 2021, 2022, something like that. I even wanted to buy a node, all sorts of stuff. I was playing the games, everything. And what really set me off was all of the inner fighting for the team with the team and everything. And I think it's still not settled. They're still trying to sue each other, and it's just not good. It's a terrible environment for a project to be in. So no, I'm not bullish on Gala right now. Maybe in the future, but we'll see. We'll see. Rugatina. That's definitely what it looks like. I wonder, has it gotten worse? Let's see. Oh yeah, it's getting way worse. I would avoid this like hot fire. It's getting down to 661 million. When I brought it up on stream just a few minutes ago, it was at like 900 million still. So it's dropped 30% already since then. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm very happy I didn't buy that. The risk versus reward was way bad. Let's see here. What else we got? Let's see. NMB, the demographic for Bitcoin is literally everyone in the world. The alt space is significantly smaller by many orders of magnitude. The more you realize that, the less and less alts you'll hold. Yeah, some people are way over diversified, but diversification can be key, especially if you place your bets properly. Now, one of the issues is if you look at it, in the past, George's DCA portfolio, for example, all of you guys are avid George watchers, and just Wednesday, he was going over his DCA portfolio, and Bitcoin in the past year has outperformed absolutely everything except for Snek. So, yeah, you could argue for the past year in his DCA portfolio, he should have just bought Bitcoin. But you also lose out on a lot of opportunities if you do that. And right now, we still haven't had a true altcoin season. And I do believe that we'll start to see that, weigh a little bit differently here soon. But I'm with you. Bitcoin is king, and it always will be. BA says, Josh, I bet you could take George one-on-one in basketball. I bet you I can. That's a challenge too. I'll smoke him. real altruist. I'm glad you are on Friday nights. I'm impressed by you. Your delivery, presentation, and knowledge are crisp, clear, and concise. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Very much so. Definitely appreciate that. And if you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Twitter. You can subscribe to Alpha First, and I'm always posting when I'm going to go live. And I also post when I'm going to do an emergency stream like I did on Wednesday for broccoli. So definitely pay attention there. Let's see. Thoughts on Celestia? Celestia ain't got it, man. I was bullish on Celestia. I was bullish on Celestia, and I was bullish on Sui. Or actually, it's Sweet. But no longer bullish on Celestia. They just ain't got it. So, yeah, not going to happen. And it could change. But for whatever reason, and also they have a ton of huge token unlocks, like constantly. So that's also a lot of pressure on them. And yeah, it's just not my thing. Let's yeah, maybe I'll change them. We're all George. I'm also George too. So I'm Josh. I'm George. We're all George. Big red outlook for this bull run. man, once these races start to heat up and they're racing every week with multiple horses, it's going to be a complete game changer. There's going to be tons of attention on Big Red. So I'm very bullish on Big Red. I love Big Red. I've been in it since it released. Full disclosure, I am a holder as of like 3 minutes after it launched. So, over a year I've been in Big Red. I think their 1 year is either coming up. I think it's coming up. I think it's in March. So it hasn't been a year yet, but it's coming soon. But outlook for the bull run, Avalanche, if Avalanche starts to heat up a bit more, which we're seeing life starting to get breathed back into it this week. Big Red's no longer a meme coin, right? It's actually an RWA. I don't even consider it a meme coin anymore. It just originated as a meme coin. But I think we could see, there's no reason we can't see like a $300, $500 million Big Red. I know you guys all want me to say it, Billy. That's what everybody wants to hear. But, sometimes you got to be realistic. And Avalanche just is not the fastest moving chain. So if we start to see some like tier 1 listings, but they're not even focused on that right now. They just got their market maker. They're on MEXC. They finally got all the arbitrage situation handled so that they don't have bots trying to arbitrage between MEXC and the DEXs. So as everything gets solidified and volume starts to pick up, they'll get listed on some exchanges, and that will help them a ton. A lot of people don't like to trade on chain. You may not realize that because we're all trading on chain all the time, but we're like the minority in this situation. So, yeah. Looks like I missed a super chat here. EC says, "Who are you? And where's George?" I am Josh, but we're all George. I'm Josh. I'll repeat it again. I've been working with George. I was actually his first employee, and I've been working with him for over 5 years now. So I'm actually the COO of Cryptos R Us and also a host on now Cryptos R Us, Alpha First, and also Drivers Only. So if you go to Drivers Only ever, that's me there too. I do basically everything at Cryptos R Us, and I've done everything. And, we do have a team, but I don't actually do everything. But yeah, started from the bottom. Now I'm here. What else we got going on? Just George. Is George hacking our George again? Let's see. What do you think other than AI narrative to watch for this bull run? So got a good answer for this one because I actually think that meme coins are going to be the lead narrative of this cycle. And we're already seeing that happen, right? Yeah. I mean, they've cooled off a bit. We had the meme apocalypse for a few weeks, or a few months, I guess. It was kind of more like 2 months. But memes are the center focus. We've even got Arthur Hayes saying that in 2026, he thinks that meme coins will take over political ads because meme coins are an attention economy. That's the only reason why they go up, because people are paying attention to them. And guess what? Normies, retail, and probably 50%, 70% of you guys do not care about the underlying tech. All they care about is this exciting? Do I feel involved? And will the number go up? And meme coins tend to do that. So meme coins, I believe, are going to be the lead narrative of this cycle. But also, I think RWAs are starting to make a big entry into the crypto space. And AI, obviously, is another narrative that I feel will be very large for this run. But I'm also bullish on DPIN. I just think it might still be a smidge early for DPIN. Things are still getting kind of put into place and everything, but I'm also very bullish on the DPIN narrative too. But for this bull run, for me, it goes meme coins, AI, RWAs. Let's see what else we got. What are my thoughts on injective protocol? Will it hit 25 billion during altcoin season? I'm going to tell you something. Our Patreon group, we posted about injective when it was like 15 cents. We've been bullish on injective since like 15 cents, and I'm still bullish on injective. I think injective is going to have a phenomenal future. The only thing for some reason holding it back potentially is that it comes out of the Cosmos ecosystem. Lately, Cosmos ecosystem projects just do not thrive. So That could be something to hold it back, but will it hit 25 billion this bull run? Let's see. What is it at currently? We're currently at 1.5 billion. You're asking me if it can do like a 20x? A 20x? What's its all-time high? Its all-time high was at 5 billion, 4.5 billion. I am pretty bullish on Injective. I like Injective a lot. It has been relatively weak lately, though. I would say Injective could get to like 20 billion. Yeah, I would say that. I'd say that. Let's see here. Doge ETF on the horizon. Yes, I talked about that a couple minutes ago. Do you think SUI can recover from the levels it's dropped to since all-time high? Absolutely. I'm very bullish on SUI. I think it's the Solana killer. I don't think it's actually going to kill Solana, but I think it is going to have this cycle for SUI is going to be what Solana did last cycle. So I'm very bullish on SUI. They've got an incredible chain. I just love using SUI. So extremely bullish on it. I'm going to go to SUI Basecamp or SUI Basecamp again this year. I went last year, and that's what made me get really bullish on it. So still bullish on it. And I absolutely think that it will get to all-time high and surpass all-time high for sure. Obviously, not investment advice. Nothing I say is. It's just all my opinion. Just sometimes I tend to be right. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might about do us for tonight. I know you guys have tons of questions. You got tons of other projects you want me to check out. I see people asking about Phantom or Sonic now. I see people asking about ETH, Pith, Aerodome. I mean, there's just so many projects. I'd love to talk to you about them all. What you should do is you should subscribe to Alpha first. That way on Wednesday, when I stream again, you can ask me about more projects. And then on Friday, you can ask me about even more. I'm happy to talk about absolutely everything. But at some time, the show's got to end. And that time does happen to be now. So I do hope that you guys have an absolutely wonderful weekend. If you didn't get to celebrate Valentine's Day yet, when it does happen, I hope it goes fabulous for you. I really appreciate you all tuning in. And if you enjoyed the stream, smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, give me a follow on Twitter. And most importantly, though, go subscribe to Alpha first, because that's where you'll find me more often than not. So go ahead and do that. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you guys actually Tuesday on Alpha First if you go over there. But next Friday, I will definitely be here again. So have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.